Welcome to the Loyal Family LF podcast, where we the most illest, most realest podcast alive. I'm your host, J Ham LF. I'm with my co-host.
Nobody wins when a family feuds. What's better than one billionaire? Two. It's your boy Black Barry LF. What is good, everybody? How y'all doing?
Yeah, we got a special guest today. You mind introducing yourself?
How you doing? My name is Kwaku Payton.
All right, what's up, Kwaku? Before we get into anything, we want to shout out to our sponsors, Frontline Millionaires, where you get your Frontline Millionaires gear at www.frontlinemillionaires.shop.
Also sponsored by I'm Different and It's Okay by Stephanie Kia 684 on Instagram. Just click the link in the bio.
Also sponsored by Drumlove. Clap it up. So what's up? How y'all feeling today, man?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. I mean,
Alright, we in here with the legendary Kwaku Payton. What's up, Kwaku? How you feeling?
everything good. Let me get COVID with y'all brothers. Fuck it. We gonna get sick today, y'all. How y'all feeling?
Alright, before we start this interview, we just want to know, tell the people who you are, you know what I mean, and what you about.
How you doing? Shit, it's hard. I don't usually do this shit. I'm Kwaku Payton. You know, I'm a black brother raised out of Brooklyn that just tried to make a difference as things happen around me growing up in Brooklyn. I tried to do the best I could do. So and as I did that and done what I've done as far as just dealing with drums and politics in New York City, I just kept going. That's it. So when you ask me about myself, it's hard to talk about myself because I'm so used to doing community work and being active and being around, trying to tell, or not even tell, just trying to show young people that we can do more. We could be great as people. You know, even though like you see me, I'm even today I'm breaking one of my rules. It's the first time you're gonna see me smoke a blunt, like smoke some weed on camera in like 20 years. I haven't smoked weed on a camera in 20 years, and I'm holding the weed in my hand. Like, am I gonna smoke?
We revolutionizing it. Don't worry.
But through the COVID and all this bullshit, this the only shit that been keeping me sane.
That is definitely a
Real
fact.
talk. So you say you come from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, bro.
So tell us a little bit about like what it was like growing up in Brooklyn for you.
I'm a product of Black Power, of the Black Power structure of Brooklyn. I'm a product of the cultural structure of Brooklyn. I'm a product of the street structure of Brooklyn. So when it comes to Brooklyn, I'm all around Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. That's where, everything I known for real, all my education I was really taught come from the people and the elders and the young people of Brooklyn. So when I talk about my childhood, it was a cultural structure of, different talents from black nationalism to black culturalism to black streetism, and I'm originally from the projects. From the projects, I moved to side blocks where, I grew in through Brooklyn. From that project is my introduction. So I knew how to survive. That project teach you survival, and I learned how to survive real early. Through whatever. My grandmother had 20 kids in the Marcy projects.
Word up. Shout out to Mother Pearl.
I had no choice, and my grandmother was a Pentecostal minister, faithful to God, faithful to the church. So, she put that structure in us early about God and life and being a good person. So throughout my travels, I always had that installment of my grandmother's first introduction to God and how I deal with life. So even when you're dealing with the devil, sometimes you got to be with the devil and play with the devil to beat the devil. Because if you don't know the devil game, you can't play the devil. You ain't gonna never know the tricks the devil playing with you. So sometimes you got to play in the devil field to feed the devil a little bit of his medicine. And my grandmother was one of those who instilled that. Like I said, she had 20 kids out of Marcy projects. And when I say Marcy, I like to say that sometimes because we see our biggest inspiration, one of my biggest inspirations coming out of Brooklyn was Jay-Z. And, he helped me along the way with a lot of his lyrics and just the familiarity of being from Brooklyn in the same area that I'm from.
Okay,
You know,
okay. So coming from Brooklyn, you spoke of your grandmas and Jay Z. Like, who are some of your influences, especially coming out of Brooklyn?
oh shit. Number one A list, Sonny Carson. You know, I gotta give Sonny Carson, and I gotta give my father, Ofori Payton. You know, Lindsay Ofori Payton. You know, that's my first inspiration. That was my first hero, my father. And I gotta say, Sonny Carson coming out of Brooklyn was, you know, that was my godfather. You know, he told me he was my godfather. I don't remember no ceremonies or nothing. He said, "Nigga, I'm your godfather." so when it come, and I mean, I have a lot of influence. You know, I have influence like Bill Banks, Sonny Carson, James Harris, um, and these are just people that's coming from Brooklyn. You know, but my influence from New York City as a whole, you know, I come from the Nana Denny Zulu order as well. You know, my name Kwaku Payton They. That comes from the Akan system out of New York City that Nana Denny Zulu bought that my father instilled in all of his kids, and you know, and there was a whole lot of systems that came within that. So when it comes to the Brooklyn structure, like the Chief Bays, the Nana Denny Zulus, the Alambe Bravs, the you know, so many people that was involved, the G2 Wausis, you know, and I mean these are people that I'm not talking like these are people that I read about, that these are people that I actually sat down and talked to and had conversations and said, brother, I want you to do this. I need you to do that, and the influence always stuck in the back of my head, or how I moved through Brooklyn and how I was coming up, even when I was in the trenches trying to find myself, you know, within, you know, growing up.
Being that you mentioned Sonny Carson, what was your position in the Black Men's Movement?
Hmm. Man, my position, I don't claim no position in the Black men's movement. I'm a baby of the movement. I'm a student of the movement. You know, um, for me, it was always about, you know, trying to make sure the people behind me or the people that's coming after me have something, and we have structure in what we have. So my position was always to to bring to bring young minds to consciousness, to get young people involved, and to be able to be creative, and be as free as they can be without the stigmas of what's happening and around them, as far as their lifestyles within their parents, their families, where they live. So me working with Sonny Carson in the Black Power movement, I was always I always wanted to be a resource to the structure with the Black Power meant, as far as, you know, empowering young people, empowering myself from what I came from, you know, even like you talk to projects, empowering people from project environments that only saw one or two ways of getting out of the situation. So my job in the Black Power movement was to show people, young people and older people, that we can do more than one or two things. Even in the Black Power movement, we could do more than march. We could do more than fight. You know, we could do more than just be rebel rousers and aggravated, angry people. We could be more than all of that. That was my job in the Black Power movement, to show, you know, like I come from the projects and I play African drums and I do African dance and I can rap and I can do so many things because my mind and my brain was so beyond a project mentality, was so beyond my neighborhood, was so beyond my community, and that's because of the influence of the Sonny Carsons. That, you know, Sonny Carson made a movie that in this movie he brought all the gangs of New York that was somebody, and he put them all in one place, and gave them structure and put them on film and changed the whole structure of how we survived in Brooklyn for a good 30, 40 years. So when it comes to, you know, my position, I never claimed no position like I'm a general, I'm a head. Some people call me a general. Some people say you should be the leader. Some people say it's on you. Some people put so many burdens of the people on me, and my only job is to try to wake people up and give them understanding of what they can do and how great they can be and how great they are. You know, I got a slogan: stay focused, keep going, be great, and that's all I try to encourage. So what I do with the drum was about Drumlove is about bringing drummers in America and first off Black America together, because everybody wanna be something they're not or something different. And far as I'm from Brooklyn, from the projects. I'm from. We knock on your door and ask you for eggs. We ask you for butter. We barter system with you. I'm from that. I'm from that we family structure before crack. So I seen before crack, and I seen what crack did, and I seen, so many things within that whole structure that fucked us up as a people all together, which made me say, I don't want to be a part of everything. I don't care about the wave. I'm the wave. My people's the wave. We create the wave. And through my travels, most of my peoples create the wave. If you somebody in hip hop and you doing it, you know me. If you Black and you from New York, no bullshit. Even if you ain't giving me a check, I want a check, Tata. Marcy,
money
nigga.
at?
I want a check, and I'm not disrespecting. Loyal fam deserve a check. Like for years, it been groups of young people out there doing good work that don't get the recognition. And I don't mean just out here, rapping or popping stuff. I mean out here grassroots organizing, putting work together so people could be in position. Through Sonny Carson, I was able to help a lot of politicians. Through my father, through Ofori, I was able to help a lot of politicians. Through Bill Banks, like you asked me in the beginning, who are my influences out of Brooklyn. Bill Banks, Sonny Carson, Ofori. Shout out to our team Ferguson. He's still alive. You know what I mean? That was left with the legacy of Sonny Carson, our team Ferguson, and Ali Lamont. Was left with the legacy of Sonny Carson, as long as myself and a whole lot of other people, from X-Clan to Black Watch. And these are just movements. I'm not gonna talk all the way. Y'all can ask me some more questions.
Right. I got a question for you, since we was talking about the politics and everything. Know what I mean? So, what can because I believe everybody is trying to get more into the politics, especially with everything that's going on. What can a regular person do to get in contact with a councilman or somebody like that, so we could try to implement change and try and get some of the relief money into positive things for small Black businesses and things like that?
Okay, excuse me, I was just checking something. But first thing I'm gonna say is, you start at a community level. If you want to deal with your city council, if you're in the Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, or if you're in Brooklyn within those areas. I can't tell about no other place but Brooklyn. For Brooklyn, you gotta go to community board meetings. These meetings are held once a month in a location within that community, whether it's Brownsville, East New York. All of them have different sections of community. And next, you find out who's the leading Democratic Party in that community, who has the Democratic control, who's out there doing Democrat work within that community, and you go around them and you ask them questions, and then you keep doing your research. You find out where's your city council person's office, and you find out who's their liaison person, who's their community person, and you go in there and you make sure they know who you are. So when you do come around, it's not an overnight process. People got to see you consistently doing work before they even really. It's like anything, because they may not think you're serious until they see you again. So you got to keep going. Whatever your issue is, you got to go to community board. You got to go to to the district manager's office. Find out as much information you need to know from the district manager because they work for your community board. They work for your community. And then you find out where your city council, and you go in there and you make a relationship. Everything in life to me is about relationship.
Alright, so you spoke about through the city council finding the leading Democrat, but don't the Democrat have their own agenda? Like, ain't they gonna push what they want to push? So
I mean, everybody, like, honestly, yeah, everyone have their own agenda. But the Democrats and the Republicans, those are both, quote unquote gangs in America. So you have the Democrat gang and you have the Republican gang. My whole thing is, if you from Bed-Stuy, Crown Heights, Canarsie, Baltimore, or any black urban community, it doesn't matter about the Democrats or the Republicans for real. It matters about what y'all community needs and who could get them funds. So if you in a community of all Republicans and the Republicans can make the things happen that you need, then that's who you go check. If you're in a community of Democrats and the Democrats is the people you need, that's who you go check. But in our communities and black community, urban communities that we live in is mainly Democrats because that's the community that our grandparents chose, our great grandparents chose. So that's the party we choose, But at the end of the day, change start within yourself. Change start within what you want to do, and you bring the change to the city. You bring the change to the community. Like Drumlove started out. Drumlove to me is black power. Because I was going places and like I'm saying, everybody was saying I'm Buddha Bagadaba and I'm Jugada Jogada Joe and I'm Jagada Jagada J, and I'm like, man, yo, and they all beefing with each other. Boogada Bagadaba beefing with Jagada Jagada J, and they and all of this stuff is going crazy. So I'm like, yo, we all here to drum. We all came here for love. You know what I mean? So Drumlove became for me as a black power slogan, like Drumlove. We all here as unity. We all here as one. So I started just give everybody a shirt, everybody a hat, and we form movement through that process. So now Drumlove, some people they, a lot of people, some people they want to hate it or try to play or downplay it, knowing, man, I got 25 years of work. I've been giving work in African dance and African drum for 25 years professionally, getting a check, teaching, being requested, performing. So when it comes to a lot of stuff, I don't have to, this is my interview, this one of them interviews I don't talk. And I got to shout out some people because, through the process, a lot of people came through my journey of my process of me getting where I'm at. And in life, if you don't give people who helped you or people that did it before you their flowers, you a fraud. And a lot of people helped me. And I helped a lot of people. But a lot of people was in position. And I was one of those people that knew they was in position, and sometimes you go to the position. But when you get to the position, you gotta play your position and you gotta learn a position so you could get in position. And now I'm in position, it's my turn. And I'ma still shout out those people that helped me, Shout out to my brothers, man. Shout out to the whole Asasaya fam, clique. You know what I mean? The Joe Lay clique, fam. These my peoples. That's my family. It's my crew. Shout out to my brother Yao. It's my first peoples. You know what I mean? I gotta shout out my big brother Papa. It's block work. You know what I mean? One of my first peoples. Shout out my man Gene, Uptown. You know what I mean? It's my peoples. You know what I mean? A lot of people, I gotta give them their flowers because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be me. You know what I mean? Shout out to Marcy. Shout out to Ramel. You know what I mean? My Uncle Harvey, rest in peace. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people, they could for my struggle in my childhood, I didn't have a lot of role models that I looked at like I was impressed with. You know, my father, euphoric, he dressed spit shine shoes, motherfucking shiniest hat in the world. You know what I mean? He coming out looking like Santa Claus, like how he look. He's sparkling, he's shining. So I come from that. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of people, you know, that helped me along the way. Shout out to the twins. They know who they are. You know what I mean? I ain't gotta spit too much shit on them. You know what I mean? But shout out to my brothers, my younger brothers. IJs, Kwakus, Quadros, you know what I mean? Shout out to Barry Black, you know what I'm saying? That's here doing his number. Shout out to Your Highness, that's here. You know, because I seen them too. Like, you know what I'm saying? This all family, and I'm happy that they able to be the people that give me this interview, because this is where we got to go to the truth. I could do this interview 100 days, 100 nights, because it's all truth. Honest shit in Brooklyn. Like,
Thanks for tuning in to the Loyal Family LF podcast. You can find us on Instagram at Loyal Family LF podcast. You can also check us out at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Spreaker.com, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, and also iHeartRadio. Like, subscribe, share, also download. All you got to do is click Loyal Family LF podcast.
this shit go viral. This shit
Going
real.
viral.
Right, so bet since we put people in power. Now I mean, what are the steps that we do to start putting our kids or people that we know that'll help the community in power?
First thing, you gotta organize. And when I say organize, it start with you and your son, you and your daughter, you and your wife. You organize your household. You organize the household, and you organize the block. You know, you get your wife, she gets some friends. You got one or two people on the block, and then you tell them your ideology or what you believe and where you coming from and what you trying to do, and then you start from there. You start from your core. You start from those people that's rocking with you, that want to and believe in what you believe in, and you work with them, whether it's 2 or 3. And if you got to give out flyers to bring out propaganda, or you gotta create a gimmick, you know, and what I've learned is like, like I said, I'm well rounded, well grounded. I've been outside, I've been on the street. I know what all this stuff is about, and you know how we how people try to get people to do drugs. Sometimes you gotta finagle people that way. You gotta trick them. You gotta gimmick them to believe in themselves. You gotta gimmick the community to do better. You know, you gotta gimmick them sometimes. Sometimes you gotta go out there and sweep up your yard so the next man know their yard could be clean. You know, sometimes, like my girl asks me sometimes, how you get the young people to pull up their pants. If the old men pull up their pants, then young men might pull up their pants, because you gotta lead by example. And half of it is that. And like I said, the first thing is about organizing from what you have. And now we have social media. You can make a whole platform of what you believe in and what you're trying to do. And I guarantee you, if you're really serious, people gonna buy into it. They're gonna get into it. You know, and those that can help you, they're gonna get into it too, because they know you're serious.
That's what's up. So, man, real shit, I'm your brother, so I know a lot, you know what I mean, about what was going on when we was younger and shit. Let us know, like, what it was like growing up, you know what I mean, as a youngin', and y'all was marching and closing crack houses and changing the name of streets. Let the people know, like, what was that like growing up, you know what I mean, give them some of that experience.
For me, oh, man, I was real young. We talking about 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91. So, to me, it was adrenaline rush. It was like freedom. And when I say that, it was adrenaline rush. It was freedom, and it was like, I'm naive. I don't know what the fuck really going on all the way around. You know what I mean? But I know it's scary. I know it's crowded. It's a whole lot of us. I'm so young. I'm on shoulders. in some of these situations. Like, people got me on their shoulders because we got to keep it moving and we marching, you know. But I could tell you this, you know, it was, my family was really seriously in the trenches of that because, you know, I remember my family, we had to leave New York City because of marching and riot and shit like that, you know, for the Galvin Cato situation. When Limerick Nelson, Galvin Cato, Rosenbaum, I don't even want to mess up his name or do anything to his name, but see what I mean? Shit going crazy. But I don't want to say nothing that even disrespect the guy from Israel that died name as well. But you know, Galvin Cato died, and my father and Sonny Carson was so close. You know, my father grabbed all his sons, and we had to leave New York. It's maybe not all of them, but the older ones. We had to leave New York for a couple of days until the funeral. We came back when the funeral hit because it was so tense in New York City. It was so serious. You know what I mean? Like, I remember marching, and it was like riot squads at every corner. Because and they going closing crack houses. Why are there riot squads at every corner? If they closing crack houses, shouldn't the police be with these motherfuckers? But instead they got riot gear, riot squads every corner with the motherfucking the shield and the stick out.
Fucking up business.
Ready to fuck.
They was working with the police. Y'all saw what happened to Larry Davis.
You know, see, but when it came down, like I said, it's about organizing. And you know, Sonny Carson. People say why you deal with Sonny Carson and they got all this stuff about he said this and he did that and he was that kind of person. Sonny Carson was the realest person I ever met in my life.
Facts.
I met a lot of so-called gangsters. Real brothers, real niggas, real culturalists, real people. Sonny Carson was the realest person I ever met in my life. No cap. No fronting.
No frills.
No frill. Not, you know, he was himself. He wasn't afraid. The first thing to be a revolutionary, you can't be afraid. Shout out to Kwaku Payton They, one of my elders. You know, I gotta give the political prisoners their props. I drummed for Geronimo Pratt. I drummed in the room with Kwaku Payton They for a Sonny Carson tribute. I drummed for Tupac. Memorials. I ran with Erica Ford in the cold. My Uncle Harvey Brown died in 1986. He got stabbed in Boulevard Project. Sonny Carson and the Black Men's Movement created a group called the Harvey Brown Brigade, where I was one of the proteges of that movement. I was one of the youngest to perform under the Denny Zulu African dancers, drummers, and singers. You know, it's so many things, and it's not patting myself on the back, but I gotta give this history because there's nobody else that can give it. There's nobody else that can talk the shit that I could talk. And this is no braggy docious. This is just the time and trying to make sure shit keep going. You know?
Alright, so, like, shutting down the crack house, like, we want detail, like,
motherfucker, like 100 niggas kicking in your motherfucking door, nigga.
Give us an example. Like,
East New York, man. East New York, Brownsville. They was running through East New York and Brownsville, man. At a time. Closing down crack house. You gotta think about Yusuf Hawkins and all this movement going around them times. You know what I mean? Sonny used to say, yo, you gotta seize the time. And some of the times we was living in, you know, police did fucked up shit. Some racist shit happened. And he used that time to make shit make sense. Like right now, we be like Breonna Taylor. But how many people really organize around the Breonna Taylor? How many people really organize they block? Like, this ain't gonna happen to us. Put watch on they block. Put watch in they building. We gonna create a code in our streets that we gonna change. Because the shit, I'm happy this interview going on, because right now the shit that's going on with these kids, with these babies, and we letting these babies get away with this shit like they gangsters, like they know something. That's the shit that I'm fucked up, and my whole thing is how we gonna change what's going on now. And it ain't about, because I'm not letting these babies kill no more none of my babies or y'all babies.
That's a fact.
So how we gonna change, what's going on with this stuff going on? And I try to be, and I talk to the influencers, the creators of this shit, because I'm a part of that system of, where when I was coming up, we seen the Bloods and the Crips, because the Bloods and Crips ain't, what year is this? It's 2021. The Bloods and Crips ain't even motherfucking 30 years old in New York. They not 31. They not 25 for real in New York City.
96, 91.
It was like 96.
Yeah, they got like 93.
93 with the Bloods.
94.
The Crips fight came a little later.
So they not even that old. And at the end of the day, we got to get back to culture that's ours. Our culture don't start in prison. Our culture don't start in jail. Our culture don't start with the nigga who fucking knew how to make free base and crack. That's not our culture. We fucking beautiful people. I'm a witness to see people before crack. We was vibrant black people.
That's deep.
You know what I mean? I'm a witness. But I had to say, shout out to Snoop Dogg, man. Snoop Dogg changed the fucking America, man.
That's a fact.
Chronic.
And I was saying, Snoop Dogg changed the world, man, for me. Because before Snoop, it was crack. Everybody was on crack. Everybody was like on some real bum shit. It was crack and AIDS. And Snoop came out with the Chronic, with Dr. Dre. It was and that whole energy, that whole time, changed the whole world, man.
All right, so before you get to that time, not to cut you off, let us know what it was like before crack, because a lot of us, they 86, I'm 87, we probably
I was
came
born 84.
in the midst of the crack era.
Okay.
You ain't gonna remember.
I'm gonna say this.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna say this.
He was 80. What you 81? 80.
I'm an 81 baby.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, me being 81, my grandmother having 20 kids, my father having 12 kids, and me being just in the mix of all that energy of the times with so many people older than me. Before crack, it was before I seen the impact of crack, we was going to the beaches. Everybody was vibrant, like healthy, like COVID healthy, like in the house, can't get access to shit healthy, Then crack hit, it was dark. Mentally healthy, taking care of each other. People loved each other. Community was community, People wore nice clothes, nice outfits. They had self-esteem. They cared about each other. They loved their kids. You know what I mean? It was just so much that was involved. Black women love black men. Crack. And then you knew crack was there because you saw zombies. Shit got dark. Like everything that was vibrant just became dark. And people start walking very, very fast. And if you was outside,
that's
right?
crazy. That's a deep detail. I can imagine, bro. Nigga walk like a crackhead.
That's back in the day, old school shit.
And if you was outside, you seen people, self-esteem go to the lowest. I mean, people sold their mother sofas. People sold their mother couches. They sold their mother food stamps. Their mother chandeliers. They father guns. They father whatever they had of value. People sold it. They sold their daughters. Dudes would sell their mothers if she was on strung out and she was bad. Just to keep going and get what they get. So the self-esteem level of how people think and how people do it was serious, man. It fucked up generations. So right now, you know, with all this shit of people trying to be successful, with all the college, thank God for Bill Cosby. Fuck what y'all talking about, what he's saying. Thank God for the Cosby Show.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Thank God for a different world.
Show black families.
Those black shows and black families sent people to college. Wanted people to be Dwayne Wayne and wanted to be Whitney. You know, that's how all these things that you see now are still going because of those shows. You know, and all our black leaders, they tried to deteriorate in time. Whether they messed up their image or put them out there as they're rapists or they're that kind of person or they're that kind of person, when we all human and we all, as black people, come from the same shit. The motherfucking slave shit. And if we ain't trying to fucking build and control where we at in our environments and teach our kin and our kids that we are great, because we wouldn't be here if we wasn't great. They wouldn't have took you if they couldn't get no money from you. It's like if you hustle, you gonna go buy bad product? No.
They know we
you going for the raw. Yeah. They went to Africa for the raw. They came and got the rawest of the rawest motherfuckers, and that's us.
And you say Africa, you think we only was in Africa?
We was all over the world. We was here.
I think that we was here.
We was here.
First.
We was all over. Mansa Musa is the motherfucking richest man in the planet.
They say Bill Gates.
No, Mansa Musa, he dead.
Fuck out of here.
You talking about now? You talking about now?
Bill
but
Gates.
Yeah, so let's keep it back in Brooklyn, man.
Yeah, we gonna go
so
back
like
to Brooklyn.
You saying about, we know Sonny Carson, he helped shut down crack houses and all that. Mm-hmm. Let us know like some of the blocks in Brooklyn where he changed the name of the blocks. You feel me?
I heard one story. He kicked police off the block.
Oh yeah, Yeah, before we get into that, yeah.
I'm a go. I was a witness of Sonny Carson changing public school 262 on Macon and Malcolm X into El Haj Malik Shabazz public school.
Mm-hmm.
I was a witness of Sonny Carson and the brothers and Committee to Honor Black Heroes.
Hold on. Before you could say that he changed the name of El Haj Malik Shabazz to Macon and Malcolm X. How the fuck did it get named Malcolm X, nigga? Like, we want to know that. We want to get down to the nitty gritty, real shit.
You know, Sonny Carson, a hero of Malcolm X.
Yeah.
And he wanted to change every block to Malcolm X. He wanted to name every school in Brooklyn Malcolm X school.
Yeah.
You know, but 262 was one of the schools that was on Reed Avenue, Malcolm X, which is Malcolm X Boulevard right now, but it was called Reed Avenue. He said, we're going to change the school, we're going to change the block, or vice versa. If we get the block changed, we're going to change the school. 262 was a school that we had family that worked in, and we used it a lot. So it was one of them schools that he felt more that he was obligated to, that he wanted to be a home base. So he put a lot of time and energy in 262. He put a lot of time and energy in Boys and Girls High School, because those two schools were like his schools in Bed-Stuy. You know, he wanted to show the education of Sonny Carson. He went to them two schools, and he wanted to organize, and so many things came out of them two schools through the Sonny Carson movement, from African drum to basketball to a whole lot of things. You know what I mean? We used to you know, through the Harvey Brown Youth Brigade, like I talked earlier, from my uncle that got killed in Boulevard Projects. We used to march a lot. You know, the Harvey Brown Youth Brigade used to be, you know, we used to be the front center of a lot of the marches. We used to have the black berets on with like green outfits on, black boots, you know, and then you know, later on in the years you had the X-Clan, you had the Black Watch. So Sonny kept organizing it, and we kept getting stronger within the powers of Black Power. and he never changed his beliefs on how he felt for the people. He never, a lot of people compromise. He taught us, like, don't compromise the people. You know what I mean? If you want to do something, do it on your time. But people time is the people time. So a lot of our time was really people time. Like, I couldn't, you see, even this vice right here of smoking weed, I got to explain this shit too, because it ain't for everybody. This is a drug. It ain't for everybody. And if you don't need it, don't use it. I got ADD, HDD. You know what I'm saying? Like
cataract,
PTSD.
PTSD.
And right now you got Mike Tyson because you ain't past that shit yet.
I'm on my mic shit. You know what I'm saying? But nah, honestly, man, I appreciate this interview, and I got to big up y'all too, man. Big up Barry Black, J. Him, and your Highness, man.
Appreciate it.
Yes.
Because I'm not gonna lie, I was one of the older brothers around them guys. Like, what the fuck y'all gonna do, man?
Yeah.
What y'all doing, man?
He used to smoke weed.
Y'all got all this talent, nigga.
He used to smoke weed and wouldn't let me smoke weed. I'm like, nigga, I'm gonna bring my own weed, nigga.
You see, it's my younger brother.
Them niggas used to only let me drink. They ain't never let me smoke with them neither.
You hear what they saying? How many OGs and older brothers could say they didn't let their younger brothers smoke weed with them? Y'all motherfuckers was happy your younger brothers was smoking weed so they could buy the weed, you broke niggas.
Yeah, I wasn't on that time.
I was like, hell no. And I'm beefing with all my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, what you doing? Hell no. Niggas like, nah, quick, he good. Nah. But we gotta be like that because, like I said, it's a development. Everything ain't for everybody at a time. And at the time, I had to learn who my younger brothers was before I could let them smoke. And it's like people for me. I had older brothers that'd be like, no, he can't smoke. Shout out to my brother O. Even though he told me I couldn't smoke, I had my own weed at that time. So I rolled my own shit up at that time. But it wasn't, nothing I ever done was based on the weed. Everything I was doing was based on, we want to bring change. We want to bring empowerment. We want to put people in position. Weed was like food to us. Shout out to Chief Bay. One of the realest.
OG.
You know, after Sonny Carson, though, you know what I mean, Chief Bay is the realest, another realest to me. And I say, yo, Chief, we want to name Gates Avenue after Sonny. No disrespect to my OG Sonny. Chief Bay is older than Sonny, so I'm gonna just say this. And they both was old. Like, Sonny was 70-something at this time, and he just passed. But Chief was like 90-something. I was like, Chief, they want to change Gates Avenue to Sonny Carson. The Chief another Brooklyn nigga. He like, fuck that nigga. They need to change Brooklyn to Chief Bay.
Yeah, that's just the cocky shit, nigga. You know, and Sonny probably would have said the same shit. You feel me? Sonny was a gangster.
And Sonny probably would have said the same shit because they come from that gangster rhythm and they come from that culture of that time and they come from manhood.
That's a different type of gangster.
You know,
y'all niggas
that's a
down
fact.
for the language.
And what we want to bring back, you know, what I want to see is the manhood back. No disrespect. I respect all the women movements. Shout out to my black women who've been motherfucking holding us down. Like, I gotta give y'all a clap. Y'all been holding us down. Y'all been organizing. Y'all been putting us in real positions because, no disrespect to the brothers, we've been getting crucified out here.
Yeah, we getting a lot of slack.
You know,
I got another question. So, I mean, since we done heard about your influence and all that, let the people know some things you've been doing just to keep the legacy going.
Okay. I've been in Denny Zulu, African dancers, drummers, and singers, and for the since I was 14, 15 years old, I'll be 40 this year.
Man, wrap it up, my boy. Be 40 this year, 2021.
Man, I'll be 40, my nigga.
Inshallah.
You know what I mean? And
40 piece.
I've been organizing, like Sonny used to say, organize. I done help over a good 10 to 15 campaigns in the last 20 years. You know, some successful, some people they just got their name out there. No, everyone was successful.
They all been successful.
Everyone was successful. You know, and I've been home just organizing. So if something happened to me or the influence will still be there. We still have the link. We still have the opportunity. We still have the legacy. And it was all about just doing the work and putting people in position. It's like even we sitting here, you know, I can't say, Barry Black, you ever done a campaign with us?
Nah.
Okay, wow, all these years.
Yeah, he probably the only one.
Out of all these years, it hasn't been not one young person around me that hasn't done a campaign.
Only reason why I never really did it because that was around my birthday. And I ain't give a fuck about no election. I was like, it's my birthday.
And niggas want to talk that tough shit, nigga. What we was doing, quick? We was in every project in Brooklyn, knocking on doors, and we dressed like them niggas. Like, what these niggas doing in our hood type shit? Nigga, we out there.
Niggas done smoked the blunt in every single projects in Brooklyn.
Every project.
And outside of Brooklyn, but mainly Brooklyn, you feel me?
Do you hear these brothers? We called out, it's the A-team in politics.
You know what I'm saying?
We didn't call ourselves this shit. It's on record. We are the A-team in politics. If you wanted your name recognized, if you wanted to win, you came to us.
Yeah, facts. So let us know some of the since we talking politics, let us know some of the, you know, some of the candidates that we helped get into office and where they at today.
Some of the people we helped get into
Real
office.
talk, whether they was in office before or they in office now.
I mean, we helped a lot of people. We done helped from Yvette Clark, you know, from being in city council to Congress. We done helped Ed Towns. You know, Ed Towns, my first work, you know, through the process of Bill Banks, like I said in the beginning. We done work with people with Latrice Walker. We done help Letitia James. We done help Robert Carnegie, Matthew Eugene. We done help Brooklyn. If you from Brooklyn, we helped you one way or another. We either helped you by working with you or not working at all.
That's a fact.
Like some campaigns in Brooklyn, I didn't work because I knew every party. So we helped you.
Word, niggas ain't tearing down some niggas flyers. You know, even though we wasn't really doing that, but we wasn't banging with niggas. But if we ain't go against you, you good. You heard?
You know, you shout out. You know, we done helped Alika Samuels,
Henry Butler.
You know,
Stephanie
Zinnerman. You know, we helped a lot of people. We work with a lot of people. And when I'm saying this, it's not to say this. SPI, yo, with some bread. But good. But we helped.
Oh, no. We gonna keep it 100.
No. We got love for SPI.
No, we got love for SPI. SPI gave us some bread.
It wasn't
but
SPI.
I ain't even gonna lie.
Sorry for that, SPI.
It's a lot of y'all politicians that still owe us some bread. We ain't gonna mention no names.
I ain't saying
but we still got respect for y'all. And if y'all got some bread for us, holla. But
we was in them projects.
That's a fact.
We was in them streets.
See, and that's
we was getting them signatures. That was us.
And people talk about politics, and it amazes me now, right? Because politics is so popular, and everybody has got so many opinions and so many influence in politics, right? I didn't see none of these people in the last 20 years. None of them. And if they ain't come see me or none of my people, they not official. This is no disrespect to nobody.
Just spade is spade.
But when we was doing politics, it wasn't popular. It wasn't Instagram special. It wasn't Facebook special. And we never stopped. We still running candidates. We still got a couple candidates to run this year if they play smart. And we're going to use every platform to win our candidates because we have them. You know what I mean? I got to shout out some people that really, you know, shout out Una Clark, man. You know, because I don't care. She kept me moving. She kept me working for the last 20 years. Shout out Annette Robinson. these are gangsters. That's women that believe in their community, that change up the weather because they get the right people, and that's gangster to me. Gangster ain't you got a gun, you look tough. A lot of these fake gangsters y'all see, rappers that y'all think gangsters, they're not. I'm not gonna call them no other names, but they're not. And if, like I'm saying, see, the platform's gotta change. This is, and I'm a hip hop baby, but when it comes to the black nationalists and the consciousness and Pan-Africanism, I come from that school. You know what I mean? Like I said, I gotta shout out Kamadi Denizulu, Nana Denizulu, Sonny Carson, Ofori Payton. And when people be like, why you keep shouting them out? I gotta shout out Viola Plummer. Because when I think of the names and the influences of the people that change the weather of where we need to go and where we at, it's them people. Kwaku Payton, I.J. Payton, Your Highness, Barry Black. You know what I mean? All these people, they changing the weather because the future depends on what we going, what we trying to do. Asase Ya, Joe Lay was the history that a lot of people came from, and it was a organization influence. Big Gene, Big Brother. See, when people hear this interview, they gonna understand. I gotta shout out Carolyn DeVore for the last 30 years, holding it down, being an influence and making sure African dance and drum had a platform, had a place to go, had a place to be. It ain't about who popular, who the best. It's about who's consistent and who's going to keep us in places of structure to be great. Who has legacy. And where we're going to take the legacy. We come from legacy. Like I said, as a black man growing up in Brooklyn, we come from so much great stuff that we going to change the weather. Us three, us four here going to change the weather. People that listen to this is going to change the weather. Because the sponsors, y'all should be billionaires. We should have went live. Because this shit is real.
Real talk.
You know what I mean?
So, but yeah, so we got into mostly the politics part, you feel me? Now let's get to the drums aspect. Let the people know how drums and being a drummer changed your life.
I'm from the projects. So you got to think about, a guy from the projects that only had one platform. To see a show one year at like this New Year's ceremony, this New Year's celebration, and I seen the show, and I wasn't even so influenced by the drums. I was more influenced by the xylophone. How would you call it, right? The xylophone. Yeah, I was more influenced on how that was being played than the drums. But I was influenced by the whole energy of what was happening. And this was growing up in the temple school, we call it. Going to school in Sufton, Queens. I'm from Brooklyn, but I went to school in South Jamaica, Queens in Sufton. So growing up and going there, they had an African dance company that I wanted to be a part of. Like I said, my first years, I'm in the project. I go to project school, my own pre-K or whatever, daycare is in the project. So that's the only thing I knew. From there to going to a private school in Queens, you know what I mean? That changed my life. And like some of the kids, they grew up in this school since birth. And I already had my training before I got to this school. As far as, not all my training, but as far as my mannerisms and what I felt was real or what was not, I had that already. So when I got to the school, only thing that I was interested in was learning how to do African dance or African drum, because all the kids knew more than me on that time. And I ain't like nobody know more than me on nothing. So I was, I got there, I was practicing, I was rehearsing. And, shout out to my brother Kwesi, Kwesi Amante, man. Shout out to him, man. He taught me how to do this dance, like this first step in one of the dance. He ain't teach me how to do the dance. He taught me how to showboat in one of the steps in the dance called Nagla. So my first couple days, you know, it was a group called Safo Bar. Like a Safo Bar was the group the group you get into before you get to Denny Zulu, African dancers, drummers, and singers coming out of the temple. So that got me there. I did the Safo Bar. I did the Denny Zulu company. I did my time within them times. I studied under Kamadi Denny Zulu. He used to have drum class every Tuesday, Thursday, whatever after school. We did drum class. So I'm in drum class with y'all pioneers. These dudes that everybody respect. I'm in drum class with the Yao Babios, with the Osays, with the Kwesi Asantes, with the, you know what I mean, with the Kwesi Amantes. I'm in drum class with them. We playing on congas. You know what I mean? And then we got a comb on Sunday, Saturday. That's our religious festival. So they drumming there. And while they over there, I might not be drumming over there, but we have a whole religious festival on the other side of our own as kids. So it's like we imitating whatever's going on over there, over here. In the mix of all of that, you know, African dance, far as Ghanaian style of what was happening, you know, Denny Zulu, it wasn't, you know, we still doing shows, but it wasn't as popular no more. You know what I mean? So we started so my brother Yao, you know, he was, like I said, he was one of my major influence. He started to hang out in Harlem. So I used to go to Harlem. You know what I mean? Like I'm saying, I'm out of the projects at this time. I moved on the side block. I'm on Gates Avenue. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at my life. I'm like 13, 14. I'm looking at my life. You know what I mean? And every time I see my brothers, you know what I mean? Go ahead. Every time I see my brothers, and I'm in the hood, I'm in the streets. Like, I'm not in the hood. I'm not 100% knee deep in the hood, but I'm in the streets. I'm looking for outlets. I'm looking for things and people to help me grow and be successful in the world. And I'm looking at everything going around me. So around 13, 14, you know, I'm dibbling dabbling with the drums. I'm not heavy. I'm not going hard. I got an uncle that danced in Denny Zulu. I still go to the temple school. So I got an uncle that danced in Denny Zulu. So I'm like, yo, tell the person that run the company, that I want to get involved. So he tell us, he like, come to rehearsal. Boom, I get in Denny Zulu. To make it clear, it's like, I always wanted to get money. You know, a lot of people get in shit because they want to be down, they want to do this, they want to do that. I'm a black guy, I'm Black Revolution, but I always wanted to get some money. And like I told you, my brothers, I see them like on a weekend sometimes, because we didn't live together at this time, and they coming around with Sherlin's on, new Jordans, and all the shit. I'm 13, 14. Like, what my future gonna look like? I mean, I gotta be out here. Am I gonna be like Tyrone, Roger, and the rest of the dudes outside? I gotta sell drugs. Nah. I'ma go find out why they doing, how they doing shit, and if they doing shit that's not getting them in prison, I'm doing that shit. Because brothers I'm growing up with is going to prison. I got friends that did 14 years, 18 years, dudes that went crazy. Dudes that ain't never gonna be here. Dudes that played cops and robbers and killed each other. You know what I mean? So when you hear this interview, this shit is the real. I don't give a fuck. I know so many people, man. And my whole shit was to change the fucking demographics of what was happening around us. My block gotta be the safest block. My father on Gates Avenue, he shut down the crack houses on Gates Avenue. I lived on Gates between Bushwick and Broadway. My father shut down the crack house on Gates between Bushwick and Broadway. The whole other side of the block was a crack house. Done. Legends say Alpo was there. Alpo, you home, you know. This is a podcast. This is real shit. I mean, they went in there on some bullshit. Act like they was somebody else. Got rid of y'all niggas. Because, no disrespect to the drug dealer, but how many years we gonna promote that shit? How many times, how many motherfuckers that help? All my friends that sold drugs, them niggas, I don't give a fuck. Y'all know me. Y'all, what I said to y'all niggas when we was in them buildings. I'm fucking 10, 11 years old, 12 years old. Y'all all got packs. What I'm telling y'all. Y'all all going to fucking jail. I told y'all that. And it wasn't to be braggadocious or boasting. It was, I seen the shit before sight. I seen the system. We was the targets. Them OGs that we call OGs, a lot of them wasn't OGs. Shout out to Sonny Carson. My father. And them kind of brothers. A lot of them wasn't OGs because they gave us the dirty work. Without the lessons. And we had to deal with the sacrifices. And I lost a lot of friends because I didn't follow none of them motherfuckers. But I didn't lose myself. I lost a lot of friends. Because I wouldn't follow niggas in their systems. And I didn't lose them. They lost their self. A lot of dudes lost time. A lot of dudes lost their respect, lost their personality, lost their self because they was trying to be something and fit into a ball game that wasn't us. That whole shit is death. We gotta live. For 2021, I'm here to live. I got a son. I got a lady, man. And it's about building. I got a mother. Rest in peace to my pops. I got brothers and sisters. And I won't fuck with none of my family if they on some bullshit. I don't give a fuck. Because it ain't about who you are. It's about what's in you. And what you giving out to the world. Because I don't care about money and material. I could have been one of the richest motherfuckers on earth if I cared about materialistic shit. I got invited to be in all the parties of a party. But I ain't gonna stop the integrity of it. It's y'all podcast. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's all good.
It's your episode, man.
All right, let's switch it up. So, Jay, what we smoking on today?
I'm smoking on some Gotti. I know my son Muz got some shit.
I got that. What the donkey? Back Block Exotics, you know that.
Shout out to Black Block Exotics. You know we shot them out in the episode.
Word. Shout out to them boys.
Three.
Word though, but yeah. So, you know what I mean? Since you mentioned Jay-Z early in the episode, right? Mm-hmm. We want to know your top 5 favorite rappers of all time.
Jay-Z.
Nah, for real. We dead ass.
Nah, my top 5, dead or alive. Rakim. Jay-Z.
You talk about me, y'all.
Big E. Cool G.
One more.
Yo, before he say his 5th one, right? Your man done fucked up already, you heard?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why. Because growing up, only reason why I even know anything about
Tupac.
only reason why I even know anything about Tupac is because of this nigga right here. There. But this is what I'm saying. He can't name all them niggas and act like he wasn't listening to Tupac every day.
But you gotta see, it's my younger brother, right?
Yeah, so
you gotta understand the era and the vibe of what he's talking about, right? For me, Tupac, shout out to Tupac family, you know what I mean? All Tupac family. Shout out to the Shakur family. And, you know what I mean? And I gotta say this, right? Tupac, my god brother, through the Sonny Carson process. Mm. Sonny Carson, my godfather.
Oh, that's Tupac godpops.
And by the grace of God,
Hold on, he might have became his godpops the same way you became his godpops.
And that's how it worked. But at the end of the day, shit. Those are my top rappers. Like I said, Cool G, Big Daddy, Jay-Z, Biggie, and Tupac.
Rakim, you said first.
Rakim, I said first.
Don't forget me.
You already.
That's
Rock
respect.
him to God. Brooklyn, nigga.
He talk about the rapper, rock him, rapper.
And when I say that, when I say Tupac, you know, Tupac was the theme music for a little bit of time for myself because I felt like Tupac growing up at a time in Brooklyn and being a revolutionary baby and all this pressure on you. That's why I'm smoking this blunt today, because I'm at 2021 like fuck everything. Fuck the world. When you got people going to the White House, they clamming the White House. How the fuck I supposed to feel? What am I supposed to tell my son?
Word up. What you think
Nobody got shot for real.
running in no Capitol?
They ain't had no riot gear.
Nobody got shot. The president said nothing. He treated it like, for real, these is his kids. He said, I know I lost. I know they stole an election or some shit. He done threw so much bullshit out there. But we as a people are so still comfortable. And my whole thing is we have to do better, y'all. We got to organize. We got to come together. And I don't know how I sound on this. I hope I didn't sound like I'm boastful.
Nah, you just keep it a buck. Yo, listen.
Nah, but when you dealing with the public, you
Fuck
gotta,
the public.
You got, nah.
This the most illest and most realest podcast alive, you heard?
I feel
So
you.
we
Yeah,
gonna say
heard.
what the fuck
I
we
feel-
want. We
I
free
feel you.
spirits.
I
We don't
feel
care
you.
about getting blackballed. We blackballed already. We black men. We gonna say what the
feel
fuck
you.
we want when we gotta say
You
it.
know, but we
Yeah,
still,
you feel
like,
me?
we still dealing with kids, and we still gotta send a message that people
The
need.
kids gonna learn the
And
real
we still
shit.
gotta send a message that people need to hear.
Yeah,
and sometimes, you know, people get turned off, and we not turning off. No, we turning you on. So it's time for everybody to get turned on. Loyal Fam Podcast. Loyal Fam, LF.
Loyal Family LF podcast.
Loyal Family LF Podcast. It's
Yeah.
the realest.
Realest
Illest.
podcast alive, nigga. We let niggas know.
On
We don't give a
live.
fuck. You come over
You
here,
know.
you say what you want, you express how you feel. We ain't judging nobody. Whoever want to come on, y'all got a story. Holla at your boys. You feel me?
And I'm gonna keep it 100. You know, like honestly, right? I don't smoke on a regular. I don't drink on a regular. But I keep a bar, right? I don't keep no marijuana around me because there's so many governmental motherfuckers trying to do me dirty in so many ways. So if it's not legitimate, I don't fuck around. But these brothers bought me some shit today. I'm in the boondocks in West Bubblefuck, and these motherfuckers
Pulled up.
and these niggas,
We
and
in
these
the-
brothers pulled up on me, and you know what I'm gonna say about the drum. You know, I gotta big up my family. You know, my family is to me always kept it 100. You know, as a whole, as a family unit, we the best on all levels, on all flavors. You know what I mean? And that's what this shit is about. It's about building your. You heard these younger than me people? They say they said they was in them streets.
Early.
You know what I mean?
listen, before I cut you off,
comfortable.
listen.
And comfortable.
I remember being in the streets with my pops younger, man. Niggas was screaming, fuck the police, man. FTP, fuck the police. I probably was like 2-3 years old.
Who streets?
My pops told me I could say it because it was the time, man. It was real, man. We went through a lot. Niggas done got into it over the Sean Bell shit, Amadou Diallo. We been riding all them shits.
man.
Tupac, everything, man. We've been trying
And-
to stop black violence
Wait
for
up.
years.
Before I can't close this shit without saying some real shit about, like he said, you know, we done did all that. You know, we done did the Amadou Diallo, we done did the Abdul Awimas,
Limerick Nelson.
Limerick Nelson. We done been in the street. My brother Quasi was security for Limerick Nelson when Limerick Nelson was going to the trials. You know what I mean, every trial Limerick Nelson with my brother was one of his personal bodyguards. It's real facts. You know what I mean? And a lot of shit that we talking about, you know, to me, the biggest accomplishment that Sonny and my father made in those brothers was taking them bones to Africa.
Word.
You know what I mean? Shout out to the committee to honor black heroes. Shout out to Sonny Carson. Shout out to Kwaku Payton. Shout out to our team, Ferguson. Shout out to Ali Lamont. You know what I mean? Shout out to my mother, Santina Payton, because all these people was on this board, and they changed the weather of taking bones from America soil to Africa soil.
Listen,
From the
and that
door
shit
of
never
no
been
return, from the door of no return to the door of return. Know what I mean? Shout out anybody going back and forth to Africa, back and forth to Ghana, teaching people about Africa, taking people home. Know what I mean? I gotta shout out so many people because in life, you only get your blessings by giving people their blessings. And when my brother asked me to do this podcast, I'm doing this podcast for so many people. So many people need to be talking. So many people need to be showing real love. So many people need to be out here really giving back to the young people. All the young people that know me know I give whatever the fuck I got. I don't give a fuck. I can't die with none of this shit. So I give it to you. I give you all the jewels I got. Well, most people want to sell them. Most people want to make you gimmick something or want to pretend. Ain't nothing pretending about me. You do something to me, you gonna be a fucking hurt nigga. I got people I don't even know that love me. So I don't even be on that kind of time. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, my man Papa Wu. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to Brooklyn, I'm a part of that Brooklyn shit. Like my family is a part of that family because for culture, for the last 20, 30 years, we've been giving it up. We've been giving it up. You hear the names? Barry Black, Your Highness, J Hammer,
LF, nigga.
LF, Loyal Fan. Shout out to my man Gene, because when you hear that lingo, that's a Harlem thing. I'm from Brooklyn, and I've been around this my brother Gene for a long time. When you hear that extra pronunciation on shit, I be imitating him sometime with that, like, Gino. You know what I mean? Shout out my uncle Rambo. You know what I mean? Like,
shout out my nigga Tata.
Like Tata.
Free my nigga Tata. You heard?
See, y'all don't even know about Tata. I just talked to Ty about a month ago, right? And I'm like, yo, Ty,
Look at you.
make them, go up there and spit that Drumlove shit out there where you at. Ty, like, nah, they not ready for that.
Yeah.
They not ready for that. I'm like, yo, Ty, spit that drum because Drumlove ain't no gang. Drumlove is a Jew. Drumlove, Ty, drummer. You know, without the other influence, that's what I mean. You know, we got to influence each other better. We got to influence each other to be better and greater and positive because I don't want to see none of my people in cages. And the government is motherfucking swift and tangible. They know how to do you dirty. They know how to put you in a box. They know how to make it look good. It look pretty. It feel good. It feel pretty. And then you miss the pretty. You miss your time because you didn't get the picture. And my whole shit is to show younger brothers the picture. Take the money and make the picture. Be Picasso's. Motherfuckers, we Picasso's. We the greatest. You, Your Highness. That's the highest. Numero uno. Ain't nothing higher than Your Highness. So when it come to that, we gotta be who we are and move on that time. And that's all we gotta do as who we are. You know, and if I said something to slight somebody today, I apologize and we can have a conversation. Listen. And we can have a conversation because this shit is you see what kind of younger brothers I got. I be the motherfucker like, yo, chill. So when you hear me say chill, it ain't cause I'm scared of you. It's cause I really want to build with you because you could bring something to the table rather than being destructive or getting destroyed. You know what I mean? Because there's only two ways. Either you're going to destruct some shit or you're going to get destroyed. You're going to destroy or get destroyed. Two ways in life.
It's build or destroy.
You know what I mean?
That's
build
the way
or
we
destroy.
go.
So I'd rather build. Let's build. And all my friends that ever know me, I will fight you.
Yeah.
But I prefer to build with you. Because if we build, we'll become stronger as a people. Because we all fight too much.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna get off the fighting topic because we ain't violent and all that. Let us know some of the things you're doing in the community before we get up out of here.
Okay, for 2021, look out for a couple campaigns coming in. You know, we doing more drumming. You know, I validate my brother Eddie out there. He out there doing some stuff every Sunday with the community as far as he has a space and he does African drum out in Queens. You know, look up Eddie Jones on your Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
the Vernon Bay. Look up Drumlove, Drum Sound, DrumPeople.com. Look up Asaseya. Look up Carolyn DeVore. I'm doing all this shit this year. This is the 20th year of Asaseya. I did at least 1921 of that shit. I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like so much shit in the world that, you know, we've been a part of that I just gotta be happy and celebrate this shit this year with so much, you know. With the COVID-19, I gotta celebrate everything we did because now it's like everything is video, you know. I plan to produce more shit with the African dance, African drum, rap. I might come out with the rap album this year called The 40-Year-Old Hero, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck, like, because the Jews gotta come out, and I only hang out and only been around with the hip hop influence. Shout out to my Dead Prez people, man, from N1 to Sticks. You know what I mean? Shout out to them. Those my dudes. I done smoke orange weed with them. Y'all niggas think I'm smoking some weed today.
Yeah.
I smoke.
I'm good.
I smoke orange weed with them.
Word up, but let them know where they can find some of the Drumlove merch and shit. You feel me?
Right now, Drumlove merch is all custom made. Like, you gotta pre-order, and the only way you can pre-order is you have to hit my social networks. You gotta hit the Drumlove Drum Sound page, the Sound Movement of Change page, the Drumlove page, the Kwaku Payton page. If you want the merch, and I have a Drumlove, Drum Sound, DrumPeople.com page, where if you want the merch, you can send me a message. But if you influence or you like what we doing, you could go to the page, Drumlove KP, and send some paper. Because, you know, people talk, we in COVID. Send some paper. Drumlove influence. Drumlove is in these schools in Brownsville, Bed-Stuy. You know what I mean? Drumlove is really out here doing their numbers, and we doing it off of no paper. We doing it with no paper. This strictly influence and love for the community and love of the hood and love of the people. But anybody you know that's influenced, that's an influencer, we've been a part of that structure and a part of that struggle.
All right. So anybody you want to shout out before we get up out of here? Hold on. Before we get up out of here, since you smoke weed and all that, what's your favorite strand of weed?
See, I've been watching y'all, and I've been hearing y'all, and I've been hearing what y'all been talking. My brother know if I smoke, right, I smoke occasionally. And when I smoke, I like platinum. But I'm going to go further than platinum. I like cookies. Girl Scout cookies.
That's my favorite shit. That's my favorite shit.
So when I heard you say Girl Scout cookies that first time, I was like, yeah, we on this. I can fuck with Barry Black. We on the same page.
All right, so is anybody you want to give a shout out to? You know what I mean? Think you might have missed or whatever.
I want to give a shout out to everybody I didn't give a shout out to. You know what I mean? I want to give a shout out to Marcy. I want to give a shout out to Woodbine, Gates Avenue, Macon Street, Restoration Plaza. You know what I mean? All my big brothers from the whole Denny Zulu family, the Akan family, the Akan system in America. You know what I mean? Like, all my drumming family, you know what I mean? From the Guinea people to the Ghanaian people to Ivory Coast people to my peoples, to my black American peoples from the fucking Congo Square that really represent this shit, to the people that, you know, that was on them slave ships that really kept this shit. You know what I mean? And I want to represent my brothers. I want to represent y'all. Like, I got to shout out y'all for coming here fucking all the way from Brooklyn, Jersey, to interview me, making me feel like I'm a somebody. You know what I mean? Because that's the real shit. Like, y'all giving me flowers. Y'all gave me a platform right here. If something happened to me today or tomorrow, I know I did this right here. So I want to shout out y'all for coming through. You know what I mean?
Clap it up. This our 10th episode. Got your man Kwaku, a.k.a. Quick. They know him in the hood as Quick.
I ain't feeling shouting brothers out.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Do your thing.
I can't shout out. Motherfuckers gonna be calling me the ball like, motherfucker, you ain't say my name.
So go ahead.
So I want to shout out, like I said, I got to shout out, you know what I mean, like Brooklyn beloved, you know what I mean? I got to say Brooklyn
beloved.
I got to say Brooklyn beloved because it's probably 1,000 beloveds out there, but Brooklyn beloved know who I'm talking about, you know what I mean? Because it's so many people. I got to shout out OZ in the block, Remo, you know what I mean? My brother Ball. You know what I mean? Osei, I don't care. Y'all doing y'all numbers, brother. Keep it going. Keep them kids alive, man. Shout out to all the politicians that believe in me, that show love, that give me a motherfucking check, respect, real talk, because we need them checks. Them people need to eat. They got to feed their families, and that should be real. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that just let me be. Shout out to y'all. Growing up, when y'all knew I wasn't regular, and y'all still gave me a chance. You know what I mean? Shout out to Erica Ford. You know what I mean? And that whole peace movement. You know what I mean? Because that's what it's all about. We gotta bring more peace and love to our circles. We gotta bring less hate and violence to our circles. Cause we all can fight. We all can get devious and mischievous and crazy and what? Then I kill you, kill me, and we don't got shit. You see this? We building. It's nation time, it's building time, it's Malcolm time, it's Garvey time, it's Sunny time, it's Nana Denny Zulu time. It's so much time that we have right now to change the motherfucking world with all this energy that we dealing with right now. Let's change the world. We got the time. So shout out to everybody even listening that even go support Loyal Fan Podcast, that support me, that support all the movements that we dealing with. Shout out to all my elders that was before me that helped for me to even have this information. Shout out my parents for even taking the time before me to be in the right places at the right time, learning the right stuff with the right people. You know, shout out to my brothers and sisters that take in the information that still. Shout out to my cousins. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's really doing the work. And that's what we got to be. We got to be doing the work. You know, and sometimes we all get distracted. Y'all might look at me and say, oh, he's smoking weed. But think about, none of y'all motherfuckers perfect. And nobody's a fucking saint. But we all got a job to do. And I does mine. So let's all do ours. And let's all be great. And let's all network. And let's all bring what we got to bring to the table and be better as a people. And we can do it. You know what I mean? Like I said, 2021, it's a 1 behind that 20 this year. That means add on something. Let's be greater. Let's put another notch on the belt. You know what I mean? And we can do it. So shout out to this podcast again.
Word. Shout out to everybody.
Fan, man. Like we gonna do it. I'm fucking with y'all niggas.
Alright.
Drumlove, nigga. Get a hat. Get it. I mean,
get your merch, hats, scarves, shirts. Word. But yo, shout out to our sponsors, Frontline Millionaires, where you get your Frontline Millionaires gear at www.frontlinemillionaires.shop.
Also sponsored by I'm Different and It's Okay by Stephanie_Kia 684 on Instagram. Just click the link in the bio.
Also sponsored by Drumlove. Tell them where they can get the Drumlove.
Drumlove, Drum Sound, Drum People.
Got shirts.
.com.
Got
or come to IG Drumlove or
Word.
come to Kwaku Payton.
He got shirts, he got towels, he got face masks for the
to
COVID, got
Drums and
shirts,
Politics.
everything. So just holla at us.
We on YouTube now, people. What's good?
Loyal Fam LF Podcast.
Like,
Yo,
share,
and
subscribe,
and-
get notified.
And it's episode number 10, so we got to get another motherfucking clap in this building. for this
Episode
shit.
10, clap it up.
You know what I'm saying?
10 episodes
Shout out
strong.
to these
Loyal
young
Family
motherfuckers.
LF Podcast. Peace.
Peace.
Peace. Thank you.